My name is Virgil Parker, and we are coming to you live from the Embassy of the Republic of Haiti. Howard University has been extended an invitation by the Ambassador Paul Altidor to come to Howard University in honor of the natural disaster relief efforts of Haiti. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? We have phenomenal guests tonight. We have Ambassador Paul Altidor himself, the president of the Howard University Alumni Association Greater Washington, D.C. chapter, Ms. Hazel Robertson, the chairman of the Howard University African American Studies Department, Dr. Greg Carter, the president of the Caribbean Student Association of Howard University, President Whitney Griffith, the chairman of the National Gym Consortium, Mr. Brendan Marcano, Reverend Dr. George Holmes, a Howard University alum, and also Pastor Reverend Beatrice Harrison. Ambassador, please, let's start with you. What provoked you to extend this invitation to Howard University?
Well, we felt this invitation was a natural thing to do, given the strong link between Haiti and Howard University over the years. Keep in mind that at times of need, Howard University has always been an institution that welcomes children of Haiti, to open its door to children of Haiti for their education, but also in terms of interacting with institutions on the ground. So we felt on this particular day, this is a special day for the country of Haiti in terms of its history. So we felt it was fitting that on this special occasion that Howard, the community of Howard, could actually come to the embassy to discover, at least help them discover that side of Haiti perhaps they're not accustomed to seeing or hearing about. So we wanted to open the doors of Haiti to the Howard community so they can be part of this movement that's underway here as far as Haiti is concerned. We're trying to tell the world our history. So much of what Haiti has been about is unknown to the world because so much of the focus of Haiti has been on disasters and our poverty, not realizing that there's a whole world out there that Haiti has been contributing to over the years. So we want to open our doors to welcome the community to actually discover that side of Haiti they may not, accustomed to seeing or hearing.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. This is an extraordinary honor on behalf of Howard University. President Hazel, would you like to elaborate why the relationship with Haiti is so crucially important?
Well, over the years, we have the alumni, just graduates from Howard University, came from Haiti. They go back to their country, they build it up and make it strong. We have alumni all over the world. And just Haiti is the best place to start and to help the community, the culture and everything. And we just love Haiti. And we're here to help you celebrate your independence.
Absolutely, absolutely. Want to address the question that was brought to our attention earlier. Back in 2016, Ambassador, on October 14th, Hurricane Matthew, there was a significant impact to Haiti. Can you talk a little about the response from the embassy back then and how it differed from other responses?
Well, for those who may not know about what happened last year in terms of the hurricane, we had actually the hardest hurricane that hit Haiti in over half a century. So, which destroyed entire towns and destroyed Haiti's economy more or less post-earthquake. But at the same time, we wanted to be cautious so to ensure that the recovery effort, we've learned from the mistakes of the past, in particular the earthquake. So part of what we are trying to do is ensuring that the Haiti recovery process is a Haiti-led movement, taking place on the ground in Haiti, and obviously people from the outside can come in solidarity with the efforts underway locally, rather than folks sitting outside of Haiti, designing their own projects and landing in Haiti thinking they have the solution to a problem they have yet to actually identify themselves. So we spend quite a bit of time in that recovery process informing the public, yes, about the situation on the ground, but more importantly, that as much as it's important that we're put ourselves on a path of recovery, but we needed time locally to assess what was needed. We needed time locally to actually put a plan in place, and hopefully having our friends, our allies come together and support in terms of the rebuilding efforts. And more importantly, we're also telling people they don't need to be in Haiti to be useful in the recovery process. They didn't need to do food drive, clothes drive in the name of Haiti to be useful. Part of what we're doing here, we're addressing Haiti's long-term development objectives rather than near-term needs, because oftentimes we're spending a lot of time looking at near-term issues while at the same time the main issues remain whole. So part of what we've been doing is addressing Haiti in its entirety as far as the development objective is concerned. And this is where we feel an institution like Howard University can be a great partner in that endeavor.
Absolutely. Ambassador, well, first and foremost, thank you. That's extraordinary. The preservation of the Caribbean, especially Haiti, is crucially important. We've had a ton of influencers come out of the Caribbean area over the many, many years. And Dr. Carr is a professor at Howard University. I'm sure you can name a plethora of alum who've come from the Caribbean. But do you want to touch a little bit on the alumni impact as it pertains to Haiti and the Greater Caribbean?
Well, thank you, Brother Parker. First of all, thank you again, Mr. Ambassador, particularly on the eve of the 214th anniversary of the Battle of Berthier. I mean,
yes,
that is the framing battle, it seems to me, for the Africans of the Western Hemisphere.
Yes.
And Haiti really contains all the hope and possibility of the black world, which is why when Jean-Jacques Dessalines says, "I have avenged America," he has indeed established the precedent. So I guess I would just say very briefly, I think that the Howard relationship really goes back before really there were many alum. I think about Frederick Douglass, of course, who was the ambassador to Haiti, who was hamstrung by the United States government. They would not recognize Haiti until 1863, so there's been some progress. But it is Douglass who articulates the importance of Haiti.
Yes.
And when the African Americans did not have literally a place to put our exhibit in the World Columbian Exposition in 1893, it was the Haitians who offered that up to Frederick Douglass and Ida B. Wells and I. Garland Penn. And so Haiti has been more than a symbolic inspiration. It has been a literal partner in ways that we can't really enumerate. So at Howard University, in addition to all the great alum that have come out of Howard, we had the intellectual force of people like Jean-Priest Mars, one of the great Haitian intellectuals who worked with others, influenced Mercer Cook, and so many others, all the way up through the years, up to and including this moment. So again, thank you, Mr. Ambassador, because this relationship is not only important, it's indispensable to our continuing liberation.
Absolutely, as appropriate. Dr. Greg Carr is one of those people, when he talks, you just pause. As he's that much of a historian. Going furthermore into the student president of the Caribbean at Howard University, President Whitney Griffith, please tell us, there's an overwhelming populations of students from the Caribbean on Howard's campus. What are some of the initiatives you may be participating in, and how do you play that role in supporting the Haitian relief efforts?
Okay, so I'm the president of the Caribbean Students Association, and our motto is many nations, one family. We believe in being there for our family in the Caribbean, whether that's from Haiti, Jamaica, Trinidad, Dominica, Antigua, anyone. And like whenever a disaster or some sort of Mother Nature like effect that happens to our Caribbean islands, we leap at any chance that we can get to support our family in the Caribbean. So one of our main ways for doing that is raising awareness on campus to the larger Howard community about, yes, a disaster occurred. We need your help. No matter how broke you are, how, whatever resources that you have right now, anything counts. Like, we just need that support, that love, just that willingness to support our family in the Caribbean.
Sure.
And as such, we have a lot of hurricane relief. For instance, with the Hurricane Matthew, we hosted a year-long drive last year where we collected both physical and monetary donations and dispersed accordingly. And currently, for the current hurricanes, we are doing the same for most of the affected islands.
Excellent. President Griffith, thank you so much. That means a lot, especially from a student's perspective. Mr. Marcano, as the Chief Executive Officer of the National GEM Consortium, partnerships toward Haiti goes way far beyond Howard University. You represent a wide range of institutions, especially Ivy League. What do you hear from some of the concerns and students from the Caribbean on the institutions which are within your jurisdiction?
Well, absolutely, and what's interesting about this is there are a lot of connections because I'm Trinidadian, and so I have the Caribbean connection as well. And Howard is a strategic partner in the National GEM Consortium and has been so for a long time. Sure. The beauty of it, though, and I think the lens that we look at a lot of these activities through is something that the ambassador alluded to earlier, which is, in the GEM Consortium, we're all about STEM. And so it's scientists and technologists that just happen to be the best and the brightest in the country, and also happen to be black and brown. And so, ultimately, at the end of the day, they're problem solvers. And so, when these events happen, when these phenomena start taking place, these are opportunities for our scientists, our technologists, to look towards long-term sustainable solutions. And so I think the response that we generally see from certainly our diaspora is this urge to assist, but in long-term, meaningful, sustainable solutions. So certainly with the scientists, that's the type of things that they long for. It's the next problem to solve, but to solve it in a manner that is sustainable. And so I think that, seeing these conversations coming together, and certainly seen from, outside of Howard, a larger community, this is sort of the trends that we're seeing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that. Pastor Holmes, you've being involved in several political leadership campaigns over DC over the many, many years. You've seen our greatest civic leaders, from the presidencies down to the mayors, do reliefs that pertain internationally. Do you want to give a little bit of perspective of what your influence in the Caribbean Student Association has been for Caribbean? So.
Thank you, first of all, Ambassador, to allowing us in your home,
yes,
especially on the eve of.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate this. January the 12th, 2010 was a day that shocked the world. From the White House with President Obama to the president of Howard University, all throughout the United States of America, you lost 200,000 Haitians, which was devastating to us all, especially as faith leaders. You had like 895,000 persons who were displaced or homeless. That was something that was just unheard of in the United States of America. In fact, all of our United States president, former and president, got together to try to give some relief. I know that $500 million was given by the Red Cross alone to try to be able to offer some type of relief to Haiti, and we definitely were in prayer. We was in prayer, and we still in prayer. Because we know it's chestnut checkers. We have to strategize ourselves to a better day. So I just want to thank you. Many persons who were affiliated with President Obama's administration and who were alumni of the Great Howard University School of Divinity was offering prayers. We were offering our homes. We were sending relief efforts to be able to console directly. And if it wasn't through the federal government, we were doing this by churches and denominations, and then Howard University themselves, even at the School of Divinity, was a catalyst of change in many of these areas. The school and the students got together to be able to give some type of relief to the population of Haiti, who was also our population as well. So just want to thank you for all that you have done, and thank you for Haiti still being strong.
Yes.
In the midst of the storm.
Yes.
In the midst of the storm, you saying never ever again. We'll go through this, but we'll get better from this. And so we just want to thank you so very much.
Absolutely, Pastor. Thank you. And just to mention, our Reverend Pastor George Holmes here is symbolizing an extraordinary event. It is Founders Day for Mega South Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So there's a lot of engagements here to celebrate. Pastor Beatrice Harrison, you wanted to mention the impact of women here in the United States of America and how that carries over into the international sphere, but especially in the Caribbean. You want to highlight that more?
Yes. Thank you, Ambassador, for having us here. And as a female, and as a mom, and as a grandma, those are our sisters.
Yes.
In Haiti. And we are connected in that way because the family is strong from, I may be prejudiced, from the mother stand there down to the children.
You're right.
And we as women here stand with our mothers and our sisters in Haiti. And not just in prayer, but when the hurricane hit, I was a student at Howard at the time in the School of Divinity, and one of my classmates was a pastor from Haiti, and we were able to send money directly there, whereas it wasn't going, nothing wrong with the Red Cross and some of the other organizations, but the money went directly to Haiti, and it was not filtered down through paying salaries, but the money went directly there. So, we hold Haiti close to our heart at Howard, and especially the ladies at Howard, we hold the women in Haiti close to our hearts. They're our sisters.
Yes.
They'll never be forgotten.
Absolutely.
And we hold them today
close
to our hearts.
Absolutely. It goes without being said that the woman is not only the fruit of the loin, but it's the loin itself. In closing, Ambassador, once again, we want to just thank you. It is an extraordinary honor to be coming to your home, to ingratiate you, to understand your culture, your heritage, to be introduced to your people, to meet your extraordinary staff of affiliates who uplift, which is the highest representation of of the Republic of Haiti, and we thank you, sir. We look forward to forwarding this partnership. To God be the glory, Ambassador.
Well, it was a pleasure having you guys here, but keep in mind, we're hoping this is a relationship that still is in infancy, so we're hoping to find ways to actually make this relationship grow and potentially thrive on different ways. So keep in mind that as much as we've been talking about relief efforts, ultimately the gift that we keep on giving for Haiti is our ability as a people, as a country, to stand on 2 feet. And part of that has to do with the ability to collaborate with others rather than others simply handing things out to us. So there's a series of things happening within the country of Haiti, including the fact we open our doors there so that you guys can discover this vibrant art scene that most people may not know about. And part of what we're trying to address here is we're shifting the Haiti conversation in some ways. We're hoping the Howard community can be part of that movement. Too much of what Haiti has become synonymous with, at least when it comes to the U.S., has to do with the charitable activities, has to do with the disasters, not realizing as a package Haiti has a whole lot other things to offer. Not, even something as simple as an example of on the day after our independence, it was written in Haiti's constitution, the country of Haiti was willing to buy the freedom of any black person out there who was enslaved wherever they may be. So this is our way of saying we never looked at ourselves as simply Haitians living in the island physically of Haiti. We saw the African American community and others as part of the Haiti brand as well. So we're hoping to continue in that, with this movement. Hopefully there's other ways we can collaborate. One of those initiatives we initiating here at the embassy and engaging the HBCU communities, hopefully Howard will be part of this. The long-term solution to Haiti's problems, again, it may not be doing collections in the north of Haiti, but every now and then, our friend here was talking about STEM. We want the Howard University students to come and spend a semester in the Science University in Haiti, so that they can understand how we as Haitians, we're living through things, and more importantly, we can teach you guys as well. So it's a partnership. So in that way, we're saying that this movement, it requires a lot of soldiers, and the Howard community is an actual soldier of that movement. So we're hoping to find ways to actually come together and hopefully work together and collaborate toward not just a better Haiti, but toward a better community here as well. Because there's a lot of Haitians living here. The stigma that the African American community, the Caribbean community, the African community faces there, that's what Haiti faces as well. A lot of stereotypes, a lot of perception about communities of colors, and Haiti suffers from that. And one way to come out of it is for us as communities to come together and push back against some of those stereotypes and those stigmas. So that's where we hope in the next weeks, in the next months and years to come, there's ways that the people of Haiti, the community of Howard, can come together and address some of those issues collectively.
Absolutely. Hopefully, Ambassador, we can provide you with that reassurance, the perseverance, and unity. Pastor Holmes, did you have a closing that you wanted to?
One thing I just wanted to say on the record that personally knowing and understanding this was that we had our first African American president who made this a top priority throughout the administration. And he also had this great effort to be led by Paul Montero in many ways, who is now the chief of staff at Howard University under President Frederick. So I just want to say thank you for all that you have done and for staying strong, and we're here with you and we're here for you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Dans nos rangs, point de traite du sceau, soyons ses maîtres. Marchons unis, marchons unis. Le pays pour les ancêtres. Marchons, marchons, marchons.